I was a pretty normal kid, I guess. Loved my friends, liked my parents, could do without my sister, but what can you do? I spent a lot of time doing typical teenager things, listening to music, crushing on boys, complaining about homework, but mostly just hanging with my friends and talking about all of that stuff. Priorities.
School was my #1 priority because, year 10, VCE coming up, and then uni, and then a career. And so what if I didn't get the ATAR I needed, and I couldn't get into the course I wanted, and I couldn't get the career I wanted? Then my life would be over before I even got started. So I studied hard, really pushed myself in every test and task. I guess people saw me as a bit of a nerd, but I didn't care. I knew what was important.
Sport, mostly soccer. I love soccer, still do. But back then, it was everything. I had training twice a week after school and games on Saturday. During school, I played at recess and lunch, and every PE class that we could talk the teacher into. When I wasn't playing, I was wishing I was playing. My teachers used to say, make sure you have a backup. What if you get an injury, or just don't get picked? It takes luck as much as talent. But I never really listened. I didn't need to. I knew I'd make it. Soccer was my dream. It was everything.
Everything was a bit of a mess for me. Before, I didn't really have any idea of what I wanted to be or where I was headed. I just was cruising through life, I guess. Well, if I'm honest, it was the games. I played games a lot, way too much, every chance I got. It wasn't my fault. It's not like it was just me. All my friends as well. It's what gave us something in common, something to talk about at school. In class, when we didn't play games, did you know they took our phones away? It's not just confiscated. I mean that it was actual law that we couldn't have them in class. They had to go in our lockers from the moment we arrived till the moment the home bell went. Otherwise detention, or worse if you argued. They said it was because it was bad for us being on our devices all the time, not good for our health. I think they just didn't want us to play games.
Jared, give it back now. I'm not playing games. I swear to God, Jared. Give me my hairbrush right now or I'm telling Mom. Don't you dare. Don't you dare, Jared. No, don't put it there. Jared, that's gross. You're so disgusting, you little grub. Get out of my room. Mom, make Jared leave me alone. Ugh, I never get any privacy around here. If it's not that little jerk messing with my stuff, it's Dad hassling me about homework, or Mom at me to clean my room. This family feels so claustrophobic. I need room to breathe.
There, that should do it. At first, none of us really took it seriously. I mean, come on, people fighting over toilet paper at the supermarket. How can you take that seriously? It's ridiculous. But still, everyone was talking about it all the time. My friends, my family, everyone. Someone said that we would have to go into isolation, that the schools would close down. I just laughed. Of course I laughed. I mean, come on.
I heard the rumors and I didn't know what to think. I didn't really believe it. Nobody really seemed to know what was real and what wasn't. But one day, I asked my teacher about it. I asked him straight out, "Sir, are the school going to close down?" I thought he would tell me not to worry, not to listen to the rumors. Of course they weren't going to close down the school. That it was all going to be okay. But he didn't. He just took a deep breath and shook his head and said, "I don't know, I just don't know." And that's when it really hit me that this was all real.
The next day, we went into lockdown. Honestly, it didn't bother me, at first anyway. Stay home from school. Not only that, but stay home from school at the teacher's blessing. Dream come true. That first morning, when my alarm went off and I didn't have to get out of bed, oh, wow, that was just heaven. It caught the teachers off guard too. They needed time to work out how it was all going to work. Running classes at home, since it was nearly the holidays anyway, and they weren't ready, we just started the holidays early. Heaven.
It was hell, right from the start. I know it sounds weird to complain about getting time off school, but all my friends were there. And the lockdown didn't just mean no school, it meant no everything. No hanging out at the skate park, no afternoons at the beach, no shopping, no life.
No soccer. Are you kidding me? They've cancelled it. Cancelled all of it. Training, games, everything. They can't do that. That's not fair. Didn't they say that kids can't get this anyway? So what are they trying to achieve? It's not going to work anyway. No one's going to sit around at home just because they say so. You just watch. No one's going to follow their stupid rules. There'll be protests. They can't shut us all up.
I wish people would just shut up. Just stop complaining and shut up. Stay home. Wear the mask. Keep everyone safe. Follow the rules and get through it as quick as we can. And do it properly so we don't have to go through it all again. I can't afford this. Every day we're away from school, I feel my ATAR dropping. I feel my IQ dropping. I'm trying with the remote learning. I really am, but it's so much harder.
It was easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. At first anyway, log on, answer the roll, listen to the teacher bang on for a few minutes, then switch off the camera, mute the mic, and the rest of the days were all mine. In the beginning, I was calling friends, catching up on Netflix, always on TikTok, really making the most of all that time. But the longer it went, the more it changed.
It's just getting harder and harder to get out of bed. I mean, why? What's the point? I've stopped handing in my work, stopped messaging my friends. Sometimes I go days without even showering. I'm not living anymore. I'm just existing. Barely. I don't know how much more I can take, but the worst part is, I don't even know how much longer I have to. A week? 2? A month?
Every time they have one of those press conferences, I get my hopes up, and then nothing. Just a little longer. That's what they keep saying, just a couple more weeks. And then a couple more. It all blurs together until I don't know what day it is anymore. I know I shouldn't complain. It's saving people's lives, and people have been through much worse. My history teacher told us about the people during the Blitz in World War II, hiding in the subway tunnels night after night, with bombs exploding on their heads. And Anne Frank, living behind a cupboard for years. Years! Can you imagine? Years without nothing to keep her going but hope.
And then suddenly we got our own hope. It wasn't much at first, just one day where the case numbers rose by a little less than the day before. But it was followed by another day, and another, until it was enough to be a trend. And then it was a week, and still the numbers dropped.
It sounds weird, I know, but this part's the worst. I know it sounds strange to say that when everything seems to be improving, and the end seems like it's finally in sight, but it makes me anxious. I don't trust it. I guess I've just gotten so used to everything going wrong this year that I've forgotten that sometimes things can go right too. It would be just like 2020 to have saved up just one last kick in the guts.
I feel sick, right deep in my gut. I don't know why. I should be happy. It's over. On Monday we go back to school. We're coming back to life. But you know what else comes back to life? Zombies. And that's how I feel. Like a zombie. An ugly, dopey, half-conscious zombie. I think I've forgotten how to exist. And I'm scared I might never go back to what I was.
I'm determined not to go back to what I was. I don't want to have gone through all this just for everything to be the same. I hope I'm different. I feel different. I feel better, like stronger somehow. Like I lived through something important. I think you get a special kind of self-confidence from surviving something like this. If I could get through this, I can get through anything.
I was so scared about going back. What if my friends had changed? What would we talk about? Well, it was awkward for a while, but only for a while. Sure, things were different. Of course they were. How could they not after 8 months? I wasn't as close with some of them as I had been, but I was closer to others. So I guess it all balanced out in a weird kind of way. And nobody minded. We all understood that things had changed. And after what we'd all been through, that was okay.
When I look back at it now, it's already starting to fade. It's only been a few weeks, and already most things have gone just back to normal. Well, almost. COVID normal, that's what they're calling it. I don't know how to feel about that. It doesn't seem right that everything just picks up where we left off. Are we just going to pretend that nothing happened? But then I spoke to my teacher, and he reminded me about the talk we had about the war, and Anne Frank. He said things like, these dark times that we're going through, they don't get forgotten. They're too important. They teach us lessons, help us face the future. That's what history is, he said. The world's memories of the lessons life has taught us. And I like that. Because now, we're there too. Part of the world's memory. Part of its history.